So these are by far and away not all of the resources and tools that are available to help support you and your clients with their liver health journey, but a lot of these are fairly new resources, so hopefully some of these will be of use to you at least. I just wanted to quickly mention that we have a bunch of community participation programs. We have a Hep Heroes program, so people that want to raise the profile of this issue. One of our Hep Heroes is actually the Latrobe Mayor, Sharon Gibson. So we're probably, now that we've got that information about East Gippsland, I think we'll probably be talking to the council there and seeing if anyone wants to help raise the profile through the council and advocacy that way. And if any of you with the work that you want to do are interested in becoming a Hep Hero, we would love to talk about that. Also, if you have any people in your community who have lived experience you think might want to be a speaker, you're welcome to put them in touch with us. We give them training to help share their story. We pay our speakers as well. And it's often a really good process for people to feel empowered about taking control of their health to be able to share that story as well. So the vast majority of people I know involved in the program have found it incredibly empowering. We have a magazine that we put out called Good Liver, which includes a listing of services across Victoria, which I might actually send around to all of you to just check if you feel like there's anything missing or if that list is of any use to you to have on file for referrals around Gippsland. We've also got an e-newsletter, Hep Chat, and the volunteer program. Obviously, education programs, if there's a specific workforce event or even a community event with at-risk people that you think would benefit by having an education session, you're most welcome to reach out to us to attend and share resources and assist with that. Oh, and that I missed we actually have a grants program as well around World Hepatitis Day if you wanted to put on an event at your site. That's obviously closed for this year, but let us know if you weren't receiving an invitation to apply, and we'll add you to the list to make sure that you're notified next year. So we have what was the hepatitis info line. So nationally there is an info line that will divert you to the local info line in each state, but this is the Victorian number. So as we've expanded our remit to be about broader liver health, we've now renamed that info line the Liver Line. So people are able to ring up. It's often really good for people who are feeling distressed to just have someone to talk to about that process. If they have any questions, they want more information, they want resources sent to them, they want information for their relative. The most common calls that we get are about asking where people can go to access treatment or non-stigmatizing medical care, or places where they have pathology where they can find hard to reach veins is another common question. And unfortunately, we also do get a lot of calls from people who want to talk about their experience being treated with stigma and to ask for assistance with advocacy, which we're always happy to help with. So that's staffed Monday to Friday, 9 till 5. It's also available within the prisons through the star #09, just so you know, so people are able to contact us from in there as well. And they can actually ask to see the liver nurse through us, so we can contact the liver nurses and say, hey, this is the CRN for a prisoner in this prison who wants to see you, and then they can follow it up. We also have an online chat function on our website, so which is good for people who have questions after hours or just prefer to not speak about it and want to write it down as well. So that's pretty new. This is also something that I think hopefully will be really useful to a lot of people for you to recommend to your clients. And that is our Liverwell app, which is a free app that is useful because you can log test results in there. You can get reminders about medication. You can get healthy liver tips. This can be a really useful tool. These videos were made quite recently about them, so I'll just play that. Hopefully the sound is okay. They're both quite short. So yeah, you might want to download it on your phone and check it out. I've actually had chats with a few people who've said that they can see it being quite useful for other applications other than managing liver health, where people need reminders about medication and a place to store all of their things. So I've got no issue with that. If you think that's a way that people might want to use it, it's anyway, it's a free tool that's available, and this is a bit more.
Practicing doctors, it's a very useful tool to help engage people. We know encouraging follow-up is one of the challenges in liver health. I think it would be quite useful to raise it and introduce it quite early, particularly if someone has been newly diagnosed with a liver condition, because I think there's so much well-written explanations of liver disease on the app. I think it would be very useful for someone to read it at their own pace and understand the medical terminology that they're being told around the time of a diagnosis. When people read more about a condition they're living with, they learn more about it, and that often stimulates more discussion with their treating practitioner. So I think having this information handy for a person is more likely to stimulate good discussion with the person who's helping them manage the condition. And I think that can clear up a lot of misconceptions about liver problems and liver health, and lots of issues that people are often too frightened to ask. So things like breastfeeding with hepatitis B, the fears around sharing cooking utensils or cutlery with family members, issues around safe sex. So I think having that information on someone's telephone that they can read at their own leisure and in a private situation, I think is likely to lead to good discussion with people involved in their healthcare. I think the ability to add reminders in for appointments is invaluable, and we know it's one of the challenges in liver health when people are doing very well and their appointments might be 6 months or 12 months apart. Getting people to remember to attend their appointment can be very, very challenging. I like the way that patients can enter in their own results and record their results. I think that's very useful for a lot of people, and I certainly have a lot of patients who ask for printed copies and monitor their liver health very carefully. I think medical students and other allied health students would find it very useful. I think it's got excellent sections that summarise the major conditions that affect the liver, and there's a very useful part that dispels myths around certain conditions, and I think that would be very useful for medical students and all allied health people and doctors to know about those myths and to even upskill about various conditions. So I think that's a very, very useful tool for both people with a liver condition and also health practitioners to use.
Great. Well, he definitely laid that out much more clearly than I would have. So I'm glad you bared with me to watch that explanatory.
I think for practicing doctors.
How do we change slide? Okay, great. So there's some these resources are very new. So these posters and tear off pads now that will be being distributed soon out to different clinics. And also there's a variety of different languages available as well around this, which is going to be really useful, particularly in some areas. Do keep in mind some of these resources as we go through them, because I will be sending out resource packs to everybody afterwards, because that was one of the things we wanted to do today, was to share a bunch of resources people could use. And unfortunately, as we're online, it's we'll just have to post them to you. But if there's specific requests that you have from something that you see on here, feel free to let me know, and I'll make sure that that gets included in your delivery of resources. We also have a bunch of new resources around different liver health conditions. And there's more than when I took that picture now. So we also have a pamphlet on liver cancer and NASH, and we've got a variety of healthy liver lifestyle guides. So we will put at least one of each of these in your resource packs going out, so you've got examples. But if you know that you could definitely do with more than that around certain resources, do let me know. So as I said, you know, a lot of places have been doing this. When we've been in lockdown, it's been a good time to look at resource development, as we have been unable to do as much outreach. So we've actually got quite a few new resources at the moment. So including these Fit Pack sticker series, also very new, that you can also scan the QR codes and go to animations that tell you a bit more healthy liver stories, and featuring the liver Oliver. So that's something we can definitely get out to you as well. We've got a series of resources that are for the Aboriginal community, and the newest one is this Healthy Living Guide, which is hot off the press, and features this beautiful artwork on the front from Gippsland fella who he was part of the Torch program. So I was actually really lucky to, I didn't realise it was his artwork till we launched it actually, but I was really lucky to do some work with him in one of the prisons, and he took on a role as a peer with the Aboriginal community in the prison, and was just like such a staunch and amazing person for people in there to share a lot of heavy stories a lot of the time and be that peer support character. So yeah, really real good strong story behind that image being on the front there. But yeah, so we have all these resources. We also have resources that have recently been developed for youth. So this one's a poster that you're able to get that you can definitely have on display in schools or in clinics, and again with the QR code to link in with more healthy liver lifestyle tips. So the main Liverwell living domains are the eat well, drink aware, feeling well, and get active. So we've kind of grouped all of the different things under that, and that's also how they're organised in the app when you go through the tips through that. So the app's actually really helpful. I'm a bit of a late adapter when it comes to apps, but it is actually a really good app. So I encourage you to check it out. So yes, this brochure is also very new for young people, to encourage them to just be aware of what lifestyle factors impact your liver health, and how to look after it. We also have a street shot program. So that's a youth program. If you know anyone at a school or a youth group that would be interested, this year it's probably, you know, it might be, I think we might be extending the deadline actually. We were having the competition open until the 2nd of August, but we might be extending it because of lockdown delays. But basically it's a way for youth to express. We go into schools and we deliver education programs to youth around viral hepatitis, and then they're invited to make videos or artwork to express their understanding of that information and how it's made them feel. So that's something that we do that's quite exciting. Oops. We have a lot of different culturally and linguistically diverse resources. So if there's particular language groups that you're seeing in your clients and you want to have resources on hand, that's not necessarily something that I'm going to put into your resource packs unless you request it. So do let me know if that's something of interest specifically for you. We also really encourage people to look through our website if there's because there is a lot of resources in this space. Also the health translations search function, which we don't run, but our resources are listed in. So that's really useful across the board for finding resources in different languages about a variety of health issues. You put in basically the health issue and what language you're looking for, and it will give you a listing of what's available. Use translators when you can. We highly recommend that if you're dealing with someone with English as a second language. And the other thing that we really recommend is using the teach back technique, which is to, if once you've explained information to someone, particularly if English is their second language, to ask them to then explain it back to you, because then you're going to know if they understood what you told them. And they do say that teaching is the best way to learn a lot of the time. So really encourage you to use that method. We've also recently updated our website, so you can now toggle up the top between all of these different languages, which is a huge feat. I had nothing to do with, but I'm very impressed by. And again, if there's any of people who from these language groups who you're interacting with, you're welcome to direct them to our website and toggle to the language of choice, and then they can have a look through in their own time. And that brings me to the end of going through some of our resources. Please do let me know if there's specific things that you're after. Do really encourage you to download that app and have a play with it. If you're familiar with it, it's going to be a lot easier to recommend it to your clients. And stay in touch if there's other things going on related to this space or questions come up. Our organisation is a resource, as I said, so